Welcome to Making Some Noise. And on tonight, we have some awesome people. I can't really say local anymore because we're interstate. So, across the borders, the quarantine borders, we have some awesome people. And I forgot to put something on because it's here. This is our cool. Oh, look at that. I can see myself. Excellent. So, make sure you like and subscribe. And let's introduce our first awesome guest. And here he is. Mr. Rob Rhodes, how are you, sir?
Great, Doug. How are you, man?
Yeah, fantastic in these times. Thanks for getting dressed up and all. Let's go to this lady. Lisa, yeah, how are you?
Hi, I'm really good. How are you? Great to be here.
Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you again. And we have Shana. How are you?
Hey, Doug. How are you?
Yeah, fantastic. And then we have Deb and Brad. How you going?
Great, Doug. How are you?
Hey, we're still having issues here.
We're still having issues. So, on today's episode, we're just going to be talking about some live stream, do's and don'ts that we've been learning. So, I guess the best thing is that all the musicians right now are actually on a level playing field. And I think there's a delay there. Someone's, I might just mute Deb and Brad there for a sec. And everyone's on an even playing field, or there's a sort of an arms race onto how to sort out the best way to live stream. So we're just going to go do a rig rundown of what everyone's using. So does anyone want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go, Doug.
I'll go first. So come with me on my laptop. Let's hope no one trips over and dies. Workplace health and safety. Whoop, too late. So being an entertainer of sorts, lucky I've practiced wearing sunglasses through my studio with the studio lighting. So here we go. Whoa, look at that. So here on my rig, so hopefully I don't hit something I shouldn't. You can see over here, that's called a Vocalist Live Digitech. I really like this because you use 1 foot. It's ergonomic. You swing it off the heel, right? Cool. This one here is an Eros Looper. This is I'm endorsed by Singular Sound. So here's my Beat Buddy. And I put the Beat Buddy here up. I'm a very ergonomic king. So this is toe, I should say. And this is the ball of your foot. So when I hit the groove and I can do accents. And that's my go button. And that's my wah. I'm very, very kinesthetic. Everything needs to be...
Can't see the pedals, Doug.
Sorry, here we go. That's my... maybe I should have practiced this, but... Here. Beat Buddy. The stop go button, accents, looping, and wah. Very, very kinesthetic, and I like everything to be close together. Cool. And I just have this. Here's my Tommy Emmanuel Maton. And so with the filming, I haven't got anything really robust yet, but I've just got this little camera here on the end of the microphone stand. And when I'm not... Actually, I know we're just talking about our live streamcast, but I do want to hook up a couple of my amplifiers. I do have a bit of a collection, but anyway, that's another time for another story. So, Mr. Rob Rhodes, who influenced me. Oh, nearly tripped over that. Who put that there? I did before. Whoops. Here we go. So, going back to just wrapping off for my stuff, I actually set it up nice and loud. Actually, probably way too loud, but I actually got a studio here so I can make a lot of noise. But I'm still pioneering how to get some multicam issues, but I'll talk about my problems shortly. So, Mr. Rob Rhodes, I'll just zoom into you, sir, and we'll see what you've got. Here we go.
I think I can just flip this camera, right?
There we go.
All right, sweet. Just moving into my little performance space here. I'm the same pedal board, which is just similar to what I use live. So wah, whammy for octave effects and chorus, a little Klon KTR overdrive, and my delay pedal. All my amp sounds currently are coming from the Head Rush, which is similar to an Axe FX or Line 6 Helix. When I do acoustic shows, this is my acoustic board. So just, looper, wah, octave for bass sounds, overdrives,
Wow.
etc. My amp setup at the moment, because I'm using the amp simulators, is just this little clean 100-watt orange pedal baby. So it's just a pedal platform amp, completely clean, 100-watt Class AB. So regardless of whether it's 16 or 8 ohms, still puts out 100 watt. Yeah, and then everything runs in just like my live band setup, runs into my mixer.
Yep.
So I'm able to mix in real time using my iPad interface with this Soundcraft mixer. And that just runs the main outs to my side fills here and over there. So I get the live feel. And then I just patch auxiliary 7 and 8 out of that mixer after programming it as the main outs to my USB audio interface, which is the Focusrite Scarlett. And that all runs into the Mac to be mixed down in OBS, which is a free broadcasting software for the internet. And then that just sends, I'll flip you back here. And then, hey, look, I'm always professional at this. And then OBS just feeds all that to Facebook and mixes the audio down. At the moment, I have just switched from my iPhone to like a little GoPro. So this is made by Ape Man. So it's a copy. It's a little 1080p HD action cam. When you plug it into the Mac, it gives you the option to be used as a webcam or to access the little SD card that's inside it. So I just set it up as the webcam and sit that on a tripod, and that feeds the vision into OBS, and then those two get mixed down there and sent. And that's pretty much it.
And with using OBS, do you have the audio and the video synchronizing live, or do you do that in post? Do you mix it later?
I've been messing with that a little bit. Apparently someone said there's a 4.5 second audio delay on Facebook.
Right.
I did a live stream the other day with a 350 millisecond audio delay, and there was still quite a substantial delay. So I'll be testing this week with, from 600 to 1,000 milliseconds and see if that improves it further. It tends to go worse after you post it. So in live, it doesn't look as bad when you're going live, but then after it's been posted and you go back in and watch it, the sync is way out. So I don't know what to do other than, record the video and audio separately and then repost it after it goes live. The problem is that I think then that will mess with Facebook's algorithms and no one will see it after you repost it. So
Good call. Well, we'll get to the we'll go a little bit more in depth with the video shortly. And what about Licia?
Yes. Well, go on, Dan.
Oh, well, actually, sorry, before Licia starts, so Frank Steffenmuller is in Germany. So, hey, Frank, how are you? We need to get you on this show one time. He's got a question for Rob.
Yeah, it's just called an Ape Man. So APEMAN, and they're $99, or they were $99 on Amazon.
So it's probably about 12 cents in Germany. That's good.
Exactly. But hey, they're pretty good. They've got a pretty good reputation as an action camera maker. I think they make a lot of the really cheap ones and some more expensive ones under different names. But yeah, it's a cheaper option than a GoPro, which is like $400.
Excellent. All right, well, we'll get back to that. So, Licia, do you want to maybe talk us through what you might use for your live streaming rig?
Yes, well, I'm still developing like many. I think I've done about 5 live streams now. Rob, really enjoyed your audio in your stream the other day. It sounded awesome, and I was really interested to hear about the mixdown on that. I thought OBS had something to do with mixdown. Anyway, I'll talk about my stuff since the camera's on me. I've got an iPhone 5S, which is old. It's old, but it's all I have. I've got a 5S, so I was going to show you on the phone, but it didn't want to connect. So that's how groovy my setup is, man. So I'm just going to show you what I use anyway, and you can go back and have a listen and go, oh yeah, whatever. So I set up. I don't know how to flip a laptop camera around. Is that possible?
I don't know.
All right, never mind. I'll just bring you with me. Okay, so here's my pedal board. I've got my looper on the left side there, just a Digitech Jamman. I use an AMT F1. It's kind of like a Fender Twin kind of emulator pedal. It's got a rattle, still works. I've got delay, overdrive, octave, clean boost, more overdrive, phaser. Well,
This is for an
sometimes
acoustic gig. All right.
Oh, this is my acoustic gig. Look at my.
No.
look at my rack.
Oh, wow.
People, I get commented on my rack all the time. And that's, I just put my little poster there. So, and I just put it in through, sorry to cut you off, Doug.
That's okay. That's okay.
And I just plug it all into my mixer and I crank it up through these QSC speakers and I point them at the tripod over there, which my iPhone captures, and that's it.
Ah, okay. Very good. I'll zoom back out there.
Okay.
Thank you for that. That's one thing I didn't cover in mine. I've got mine plugged into a Mackie Active. I think it's an SRM 350, just a little one. Yeah, so we might cut over to Brad and Deb. So thanks, Deb. Apparently, Rob is upside down on some other people's situations, and I don't know how to fix that. But on the broadcast, he's actually all good. All right, I'll just zoom into Brad and Deb. Here we go. So what rig are you guys?
Thanks, Rob. You can turn around.
Hey, I'm back.
Hey,
Where's your sonnies?
he couldn't find him.
I just went to get the guitar to put it in the shot, and I put them down somewhere. But that's okay. I see some others. Hang on.
He's running around going, this is not a good idea.
There we go. There we go. How's that?
So what do you guys do for your live broadcasting? What does it look like?
Look, we'll take you for a bit of a walk. You can come for a walk, babe.
Yeah.
We've got an advantage. There's two of us. She can follow me with the camera.
I can follow with the camera.
Okay.
So, yeah, we've got a pretty simple setup, really. We just move our lounge room around to, move everything out of the way and make a spot.
All right, let's have it. Let's see it.
and we don't need much. It's really good. Okay.
Yeah, basically, we even when we perform live, we do a fairly raw show. It's pretty much just the acoustic guitar and vocals. Deb throws in some percussion, but yeah, that's just the way that we choose to perform. People enjoy it, so it's all good. Come and have a look and show you. I'll just remove these sunnies because I can't see properly.
That was my problem.
Okay,
So this here,
Wait, am I going to the right spot?
there's Cole and there's
Okay.
Clark.
All right, sorry. Yeah.
But you're a little bit close. Go
here
back
we
a bit back.
Do you want the light on?
This here is our PA that we've been able to luckily set up in the house.
Gonna
We
leave the
here
light
now, but we don't need to use the live gig. This baby is an LD Systems Maui 2, Maui Generation 2, sorry. And we were put onto this a while back. It's got a fantastic sound. It gives out a lot of really nice cool bottom end because it's got the subs there. And really good for your back when you're an old bludger like me because it's only 20 kilos.
Yeah,
And then-
I can lift it. It's really good.
And then you've got the tower speakers, which have got 32 speakers all up in there.
Yeah.
So we get a really clear, nice sound with a lot of bottom end out of that.
Guys, this is not easy, eh?
No, we were put on.
Anyway.
We were put onto that a while ago. We went out looking for a new system, and we were looking at a HK audio system. Now, for anyone who might have heard HK audio, it's off the charts. Beautiful, beautiful sound. But it was $4,500 for one
All
of them.
right, Brad. There you go.
$4,500 grand for just the one. And so we spoke to Michael at Fishworth. We get Michael.
Yeah. Okay.
And he said, Brad, seriously, go and check out these LD systems, Maui Generation 2, because they're a hell of a lot cheaper. He said he's had all these people come and perform at their industry night, for instance. They've seen he's
I think someone's got their hand on the microphone, Deb. It sounds very much.
Sorry.
And what's a pedal board? What's a pedal board look like, Brad?
Well, the pedal board is very simple. It's just
Are
wooden.
we upside down?
It's just wooden floorboards. So
Okay.
just show them the wooden floorboards there, Deb. There you go. There's our pedal.
Excellent.
As I said
Cool.
before, we use a very basic setup. It's just acoustic and percussion, so no pedals
Excellent.
or anything in there. Like that. Then we're running that. It's just wooden.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us there, all right?
Yep,
Yeah.
we can hear you. Cool. All right. Well, thank you.
Sweet. Too easy.
Yeah, that's all right. So, and Shanoa. Oh, actually, before we go to Shanoa, I've just got a question here for Alicia. Oh, you've already answered it. Here we go. Ah, cool. Oh,
Multitasking.
you're on. You're amazing. You're already onto it. Cool.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, my reply's there. Look at that. No hands.
Oh, wow. Cool. So, and Shana, you want to maybe explain what you might do down south there?
Yeah, well, I'm using a Roland BA 330, and it's just like a little PA in one. It's quite simple. I I just plug my microphone direct into it. I use I'm just using a looper pedal, and I'm using the iPhone. I think I've got an 11 or a 10. And I'm plugging in just a little condenser mic directly into the iPhone, and I'm still playing around with it because the last one that I did, it was actually running a bit hot, and it was just starting to crack up. But now I'm going to try a few different things, having listened to some of the setups that you guys have, and, you know, hopefully I can learn something myself so that I can get a clear, you know, stream across. And I live out of town, so I can actually stream without it breaking up, but I can't watch without it breaking up. So it gets, the latency just gets a little bit much and makes it a little difficult. But I've done 3 shows now, and I'm learning from everyone that I do.
Yeah, very good, very good. And we've just got a what's this for? Oh, this is for Licia. Rob, can you still hear Licia now?
I don't know.
Lucy?
I'm not talking.
Licia, do you want to talk?
Testing. Can you hear me?
No,
Hello?
I got nothing.
All right,
No?
I might
Nothing.
bump Rob and put you.
Okay.
Okay,
Can you
so
hear me,
I can.
Doug?
Yeah, I can
I
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Okay.
I just put Rob back in. Hang on. Look at that. And we're putting back in.
Technology.
Oh, there he is. Can you hear him now? You want to talk, Licia? Hello, Licia.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, this
We
is
can hear you.
Licia. Testing.
No, I've got nothing.
Nothing.
Ah.
I
Ah.
can hear everyone
Rob and I
else.
aren't meant to speak.
I might get Rob. Rob, can you still hear me?
Yeah, man. I can hear everyone else. I just can't hear Licia.
Oh, she's probably not
Just
worth
me.
listening to. No, just kidding, just kidding. So I don't know if you, Rob, if you want to log off and log back straight back in, it might reconnect all the things. I can hear Licia, okay. But
We can hear her.
so obviously you guys have been seeing lots and lots of people online here. There's an extreme delay here. Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear. So with
Hi, Lucia. Nice to meet you, by the way.
what's that? Sorry.
Nice to
I
meet
said,
you. too.
Lucia, nice to meet you, by the way.
Oh,
Nice
that's
to
awesome.
meet you in real life. It's always better in real
Yeah,
life.
we will one day.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Kelly.
Well, this is good for now. Yeah, pretty cool.
Can it, awesome. So, is there anyone else besides Rob filming live streams other than an iPhone? Because I'm doing mine on an iPhone at the moment. Is anyone else using?
I'm mainly using iPhone.
Old
Yeah,
one.
we're
Yeah.
using iPhone. Yeah.
I think.
Mind
I
you,
think,
I do have an audio interface downstairs that I was thinking I might try on my laptop and try doing it that way and seeing if that will work a little bit better.
okay. Yeah. There's definitely a lot to learn about the compression ratios. I guess for compression, those people who don't know is with video and audio with broadcasting. I don't know how am I going to explain compression. Those who don't know, it just the quality has to downgrade before broadcasting. So. For me, with using another, so if we talk about extra cameras, I've been using this software that I'm using for this multicast thing here. With using a second camera, so if I use my laptop and the second camera, the issues I'm having is I look like Bruce Lee out of, the Night of the Flying Dragon or something. Every time I go to the second camera, the audio is just out of sync big time. I mean, it's funny to watch, and it never gets old because every time I watch it, it's funny. But however, I would like to solve that. So maybe Rob, with your experiment, can you hear me now, Rob?
Yeah, I can hear.
With using 2 cameras, like what things have you discovered?
I haven't actually got it noted down either, Doug. It's still something I'm working on in OBS because there's a glitch in OBS at the moment with the NDI. Link,
I don't even know what that is.
NDI is, it allows you to connect iPhone, iPad, any smartphone to the OBS software without via Bluetooth.
Oh,
So you can basically just get the NDI camera app and you turn that on, and then the OBS will pick up that the iPhone is there, but there's a current issue where the whole program keeps crashing. So until they come out with a fix for that, I'm kind of lost. I can't get it to work. So I've just been sort of working in with the auto
Thanks, man.
camera, the audio switching within OBS. Still learning that, so I'm not there yet either, Doug.
Is it the OBS is freeware? Is that true?
It is, yeah, OBS Studio. So if you just type OBS broadcasting, open broadcasting into Google, it will pop up.
In Google, I'll just write that for everyone to have a look at.
You have to pay
OBS.
for it on my phone, though. Is that correct?
What's
The
that,
app?
sorry?
Oh, you can hear me now. You have to pay for it. Sweet. How good timing. Just in time for my question. Because I've got OBS on my computer, but I was looking
Yeah.
at it on the iPhone, and you got to pay $24 or something on the phone. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think the app is you got to pay for the app. I haven't.
But you don't use
I don't
the
use
app.
the app, no, because I'm just plugging that little action camera into my iMac, and it's all running there because I've moved the iMac into my wife's creative space and taken it over.
Good work.
Just until we're out of this, and then she can take it back.
Another one.
Yeah,
Another one.
originally with it, I was just playing at a level that wouldn't distort the iPhone. But it's a very, there's a lot of reverberations in this little granny flat, and that was definitely noticeable on the recordings. So I just started to get into getting the audio direct and went down the rabbit hole with that.
Yeah, I worried about recording out of my digital desk, and is there any delay? I'm not really sure. I haven't read the instruction manual. Maybe one day I will, but straight out of the Mackie desk into another device, being the camera. I think we've already discussed this, Rob, but whether there'll be synchronization issues, but yeah.
I think you can bring it together because even on this platform, StreamYard, you can just run into your mixer as you would live.
Right.
And you can run the audio into your computer, whether that's you've got a USB, because with the Soundcraft, you can run that as a sound card as well. So you can just go USB into the computer instead of I'm adding an extra thing going into my USB interface.
Yep.
But you can go direct, and then in the StreamYard, you can then use a separate camera, and that audio feed, and mix them within StreamYard, and then send that to Facebook.
Right. Okay. In post. Yeah. Wow. And
and you can test the sync and everything in there. I just ended up going with OBS because it allowed me to sort of record. OBS is great because it allows you to record as well as stream. So you can also stream at the same time, but then for your testing of your audio and everything, it'll record to MKV files on your computer, and you can just watch it back in VLC.
Right, which is a freeware app.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, for those who don't know. And I'm just putting it out there to the people that are watching. If you've got any questions, please type it here. As I said at the beginning of the show, we're still pioneering, how to get a better sound for the gigs quality. But I guess should throw it over to Licia when you and I'll get to Brad and Deb in a sec. So when you're playing live at home, I guess when we're actually doing gigs in the real world, or did as of 2.5 weeks ago, about noise issues. Now when we're live streaming and trying to get a good sound, now we have to worry about the people we live with. We got new noise complaints, possibly. So how do you manage that? Have you done any other retrograde soundproofing, or it just doesn't matter?
I've got some carpet and mattresses and stuff around the room. It used to be a lot more packed out because I was actually recording a lot more, but
all right.
But I don't think it makes that much difference though. I left a note in my neighbor's letterbox and said, please text me if it's too loud. And he was like, no, it's all good. And there's a sort of lower mid-range frequency that does get a little bit boomy, and my mixer is kind of limited, but I can sort of work with that. At the end, my mum will be watching and she'll just be like, oh, I need earplugs. So just at the end, it gets a little
Oh.
bit louder.
So-
But the neighbours on that side are pretty good. The neighbours on that side, they seem to be cool, and yeah, it's nice to be respectful of your neighbours. And actually, their music and their whippersnipper is much louder constantly.
Wes. Well, yeah, that's a good point, especially if your mum's watching you online. And hang on, which way is this? Yeah, online, and then actually hearing it live downstairs. There'll be audio and video. Even your mum will have sync issues. You know what's going on there.
True that.
So and if I go down to Deb and Brad, hang on, that is from Rob. There we go. How are you guys going with actually being mindful of making noise in this situation?
I'll go first. At our first live gig, I actually made an announcement when we did the sound check earlier in the day, really loud so they could hear me, and they would have heard me, letting them know that this is how it is now, and we're sorry, but at least once a week they're going to have to put up with us for 1 hour only. We promised them, didn't we?
That's good.
And then we blew that 2 days later and did it again. But we haven't had any complaints yet. But we have got a neighbour who's been enjoying. He's told us that he's sitting in the dark out there under the tree and listening to our sets and absolutely loving the live music. But we're also running all you guys through our sub as well. So it's loud.
Oh, wow.
So all of a sudden, we've gone from being a really quiet house to 5 hours of live music. At least.
The neighbours across the road, we never ever see them. They're quite old, because they're elderly, and you never see them honestly. But on Sunday afternoon, we did a set for an hour, and they were in their front yards the whole time doing gardening.
We live on a main road, and there's people walking back and forwards, and we've noticed people hanging out over the hedge or like dancing.
They wave to us through the window.
So it's really
It-
good. We've
It's
not hurt
funny.
anybody yet.
It's funny you say that about that, Brad, when you guys listen to other people's gigs. I mean, the radio, whatever that technology is, it sounds good, right? It's good enough to hear. And here we are, we're actually live broadcasting. Now sound matters because now we have everyone who are at home and they have their home hi-fi systems. You know, I'm sure not everyone just listens to it on the end of the iPhone. I'm sure that someone plugs it in.
Straight away,
Yeah, wow.
Floor and everything. It's like the whole house is like a giant P8 at the moment. It's great.
So hi-fi, well, there we go. Hi-fi actually matters still, having a good hi-fi. Yeah.
But some people too, like for example, last night we had Emma Hudson was on. I don't know if you've seen Emma play, but she's got a beautiful voice, beautiful to listen to. And she contacted me just before she was due to go on. And she was having trouble with her interface, etc. And I said, look, Emma, you've got a beautiful voice. Just get on there acoustically and sing. Do what you do. And don't worry, it'll sound great. And it did. She wasn't using a microphone, no nothing. Sat there with the guitar and sang. It doesn't need to be. I love all the elaborate setups. Fantastic. Awesome sound. We kick the sub and it pumps through. Listening to Rob and yourself, Doug.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
But she got a great sound just by sitting there with the phone and playing acoustically. So there's an option too. You don't need to set up a PA and annoy your neighbours. You can just sit there on your lounge with a guitar.
We had the speakers turned right up when Rob was doing his gig, and I was dancing around here, on the ground and making a racket one night. Brad's going, shut the door, get up.
Our block go to everyone is.
Oh, just making sure there's no. So who was this to? Carl Wilson. That's the only way. Oh, yeah, cool. I think that was towards you, Rob. Was it that point?
I think he was talking about it being silent. You can do a silent gig at home if you're running everything with in-ears. But man, if I wasn't depressed enough with all the gigs being lost, I would be so depressed if I had to play at home with in-ears in.
Yes, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I think I'd take up drinking again.
Yeah, we really.
Geez, Rob, who would do that?
So, Lee Sierra, it's on my personal page.
All right, I've been sharing your music page, but it's not there.
Okay, yeah,
I've
sorry.
been sharing an old video everywhere.
No.
So onto it too.
There we go. So Ben White, that's to Rob. Ben, so there you go, Rob. Pumping through stereo while I was working around house. Gigs are great. And Rob Rhodes, haven't had an issue. Correction, only when using wireless. So fair enough. And if we go over to Shana. Had to wait till your name comes up. Yeah, then.
You'll
So,
work it out eventually.
I'm a total pro.
I've been called worse names.
I had it.
I live out in the country, so I don't have too many problems with sound. I do crank it up, however, because, you know, it gets you in the mood. Like, anyone can sit and play a guitar on the lounge and, you know, just have fun, and that's great. But if you want to, you know, if you want to do it regularly and you want to be good at it, then you've got to keep trying new ways and seeing what works for you, because, you know, like, it just gives you a bit more motivation to sound better, to look better, to dress better, to, you know, because once it goes out online, then it's there forever. So, you know, it's going to be noticed. I did have my neighbour come up to my window as I was playing my set on Saturday, and on there was a little note that said, "Oh, can you turn the vocals up?" And I'm like, wow, so you can hear that from next door quite easily. And they're like, yeah, turn it up.
Oh, very good, very good. I'm glad you said that, because I don't know if you can see here in my studio here.
Yep.
I don't know if I turn it a little bit.
Yep.
I'm an ergonomic king. Like, if you ever come to my house, where the kettle is, everything is in arm reach. Like where the tea and the coffee is, if it's hot water. But in my studio here, everything is in arm's reach. Anyway, my point being is that I've got everything dialed in, where I've got all these amps and stuff for recording. So when I'm tracking, because I'm in the middle of recording, so this whole, like, doing a gig at home, it's just confusing.
It's a whole new world.
I've got my live, hang on, where I'm trying to point, it's weird. My live setups in that room, and it's for visuals, not just audio. So it's actually, you know, it's actually a brand new headspace. It's not just rocking up doing a gig, because it's pioneering this audio and video thing. I mean, I'm trying to get it right, as all of us are, but it's not as easy as you think. So yeah, what about you, Rob? What do you do to get the visuals going?
There's a lot of testing, so it's just like a gig, you know. I get out here 2-3 hours before the live stream starts and just run through a few songs, do some recordings, post them private to my Facebook page, and then just go and have a listen, check it out, see what it is, plug headphones in, plug them through my studio monitors, play it through, you know, to try and pick up every medium that people are listening to it through. Just making sure it's not too bassy, not too anything, you know. And just the mix of the vocals, because what I've done at the moment is that Soundcraft desk. I'm lucky to, over the last 2 years, I've been multi-track recording a lot of the band's gigs. So the way that I've taken it to the next level, I was just finding backing tracks on the internet, free ones, and remixing them for the first few. But now I've gone back in through the gigs, finding our arrangements, our versions, all that sort of stuff, mixing them down in Cubase to a WAV file, and then using that as my backing track.
Right.
So then it's just getting the mix of the backing track with my guitar and vocals, so it sounds natural. So nothing's jumping out or echoey and doesn't sound like everybody's there together. So there's a lot of sound checking. I even did a little like a sneak preview the night before. So the Saturday night I did a little 4-song sneak peek for everybody on the Facebook page, unannounced, just so I could go back and go, okay, this is 20 minutes long. I want to see where the sync is at, where the sound's at, how many frames I'm dropping. You know,
wow, that's awesome.
All little things like that to try and get it good. And it's been a progression, because I honestly couldn't have even imagined how popular this was going to get as quickly as it has.
A week?
So, yeah.
1 week.
So, man, the real kick in the pants for me was I wasn't real happy with, I think it might have been my 3rd stream that I did. I wasn't real happy with how it sounded, how it felt.
Yeah.
Anything like that. And then I turn around, we finish it, and it's got, 10,000 views. And
That's sensational, man.
I crapped myself. I went, 10,000 people saw this shit, Sorry, I made you swear. But that was the kick in the pants that I needed. So
that's from Carl.
Yeah.
Thanks, Carl. You sounded great too, man. But that was the kick in the pants that I needed to go, okay, you need to grab those multi-tracks. You need to get a better camera. You need to get a better sound. And, man, we've got nothing but time to work that stuff out at the moment. So,
yeah.
And the government's paying me to do it. So I may as well.
Yeah, well, I think that's...
I mean, I'm like, all my time all of a sudden is like, we worked out today. We're doing around 17 to 19 hours a day with this Public No Fear group. Just, like talking to everyone, answering the same questions over and over and over again.
Fantastic, yeah.
Which is really cool. Yeah. And like, and I know I should just have like a template of what I'm going to say, but every question is different. So I can't answer them all the same way.
And we're not getting time to write up templates.
And I like it.
Involved with everyone, but it's good.
I like it. I really do. But yes, it's a lot of hours work putting in it. And so we've done today. We haven't had a chance to even pick up the guitar yet. Now a bit of muck around. Oh, look at the camera. I want to set my camera up. I've got a good one. Where it is.
Well, I got another question. We might start with Licia. So, this whole thing about going live, it goes on record, right? So it's a live gig. It is what it is. Was your very first live stream like daunting because it was such high pressure?
Yeah, and it's like it still is a little bit. Yeah, the first one was very dark, and now I have like some of the lights and stuff, and yeah, like I nearly I was starting to put too much pressure on myself, and I had a bad week last week, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do the stream this Sunday, and I just did it anyway, and just went, oh, you know what, it ain't perfect. Just do it. It's your only social outing because I'm in isolation with a vulnerable person. Yeah. But yeah, so
okay.
A little daunting, but it's all good.
Yeah, and what about Shana?
Yeah, I found it really daunting, especially the first one. The second one was a bit easier for me. The third one was even harder. So it's like fluctuating backwards and forwards here. I think it's just, nervousness of starting something new and everybody knows me for my business, and not many people have seen me live, and not a lot of people haven't really heard my original music. So that's daunting in itself to me. Alicia plays around the country, and same with Rob Rhodes, and Debbie and Brad have been playing for such a long time around the North Coast, and I have a gig here and there, but I've actually been playing more actively since the COVID-19 because there's not much happening with my shop right now. And I have a studio upstairs here that's would make a perfect live streaming studio. I've just got to get around to starting to get some musicians in and hooking it up with Debbie and Brad. And I've actually got a few musicians who have asked me to start streaming themselves. So I'm going to give them a hand, and even if it is just a simple stream, just to get it started so that we can utilise the facility up here, and the PA is set up and everything's ready to go. So once we get that happening, then it'll be good to see more musicians live streaming. And just on the end of that, it's great that people put up one song, and I'm really happy and proud of people that they can do that. But when they can get to that half an hour or 45 minutes or even an hour and really engage their audience, I think that's where the key is going to be, of being able to hold on to that audience for the full half to 45 minutes. And, I think that'll be a struggle.
I'm glad you brought that up, because it's almost like the power of the album is coming back, because I know when I had to go and, do some manly things in the shed this afternoon, I put something on Facebook and then, just set it and forget. And then, in the middle of fixing and breaking stuff, I was listening to the same art. I mean, I've done that a few times, Rob, and I mean, if I could listen to myself, or technically I do listen to myself to make sure, it's like, is that right? How's the sound on that? But I'm glad you brought that up because I think we're going to be introducing old habits again of like listening to one artist again. Because if it's too short, you go on to the next one. And what about we'll come back to Rob last, but Brad and Deb, your very first live stream, how nervous were you?
Oh, freaking out. Like,
Extremely.
unbelievable. I've always had a thing about live streaming where I thought that it was giving it away for free. And, and so I used to say to some people, Tony included, who's supposed to be here, he's always going, I've been going like years. And you look back on some of the videos.
Hey, Azza. Yep.
No, it was so bad. Anyway, so I've always sort of been against it. But, so when the first time came around and we had to do it, we went into meltdown. Oh, God, what are we going to do? How are we going to do it? It's got an iPhone. Well, what are we going to put it on? I hope we sound all right. How are we going to know?
Yeah. Completely different to playing in front of an audience. And then you're going out and live to a lot vaster audience. So you're touching a lot of people that you haven't touched before. And there's not a chance to interact with them personally. So when you go and you do a live gig, you get out and you talk to your audience. You get out in the beer garden and you have a chat with them all and you get to interact with them. But when you're in your lounge room just playing to yourself, I think you've just got to put yourself in the position and pretend there's people there.
Pretend they're there.
Everyone's played a gig, right, where there's no one in the room. And I've done that and pretended I'm the Eagles. Sat there and going, yeah, this place. Yeah. So you just pretend there's an audience there anyway. And we just slip into live gig mode and do it just like we would do a set in the pub. I really think the way we come across is exactly the way we come across in the live venue.
Yeah, right.
So, we just got to get into that headspace.
I'm a bit of a nut, so I'm his loop pedal. He doesn't need anything else. He only needs
Definitely loopy. Beautiful loop.
Okay, and I don't know whose question is that towards. Any sites you able to suggest me?
Oh, what?
I don't know.
I might reply to him later because I can't think of them off the top of my head. There was someone, I was watching one on Facebook the other night with a band. They did like a 12-piece or something and they were all playing together and it worked. But, man, we're 55th in the world for internet speeds and some people have NBN and some people have ADSL2. I think my parents are still on dial-up, so,
So if we come back to the question, Rob, your very first live streaming, how nervous were you?
I think I've gotten more nervous as it's gone on. I think the first one I was pretty chilled because I had no idea what it was going to be and I was just going to do my thing and for myself, really, just as a, I've been using this word a lot lately, catharsis. It was just, I just had to go and play my guitar and I had to play loud and I had to do something. And hey, if a few people were going to check it out, that was cool. But I've sort of gotten more nervous as more people tune in and it's self-imposed pressure. But it's only because I just want people to have a good time and enjoy it and stick around because I've been doing 2-hour shows.
Wow.
And just trying to treat it like a gig, although I would not play 2 hours straight. I usually play 90 minutes straight. But you're getting the breaks talking and interacting with people. So, I think the last gig I started to feel really comfortable just because I had my band on the tracks behind me and I knew sort of 95% of the time where the song was going. And so that's made it a lot easier. The backing tracks, I was never really confident, so that made me nervous.
Yep. Okay. Well, I think, or even for me, I can't help but move when I play. I don't know if any of you noticed watching my videos, but I think for getting into the swing of things, that's just my thing. I have to move. I actually find it quite difficult to, jump to be still. But it is what it is. But I definitely think volume. Getting to be comfortable. But my very first show was on Friday, a few days ago, for Brad and Deb's platform, and it was pretty nervous because I was like, wow, if I'm going to play a flat 5, I've got to better play it twice so people think I did it on purpose, you know. So, yeah. so all the flat 9s came out, and it's like, oh well, it's rock and roll. But I do want to move on to so we've covered all the live streaming, but how do you think that now that we're actually getting desensitized to doing live streaming, this is going to change your audience into I can't point and use my hands if I can't see them. So there's this whole concept of turning it into dollars, and there's a new word that I learned yesterday, and I think Rob, common friend we have, Jay Perino, I think that's his name.
Yeah.
It's called.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, it's called the paywall, right? So paywall meaning, for those who don't know, I'm going to get a text from my mother in a second. So please define what you mean. So paywall meaning, you know, you stop seeing what you get unless you pay for it. So, you know, what do you, if we just go around again, so there's some people who already do this, you know, if you log on to I know friends in Canada, they've got a page where you pay $1 subscription, you know, and the thing is, if there's 1,000 people, you know, it's $1,000, you know, per year, but of course it's all about the habit, right? You pay $1, pay another $1, pay another $1, you get into the habit. So do you think, we might start with Shana, do you think this whole concept of being locked up, we're going to retrain customers on how to appreciate the arts through paying?
Look, I think we have to eventually, mainly because we don't know how long this is going to go on for. It could be another year before they start letting flights out of Australia or into Australia. It's going to be, you know, and it could be a year before they start opening the venues again and letting people in, you know. And I think that people are starved not just to listen to music or from people they don't know, but to listen to music from people that they do know, and or to meet new people and to engage and interact with them through live streaming. And, you know, I think that's something that people will really start to latch onto because, I mean, I think it's a beautiful concept that, you know, all these people like yourself, Rob and Alicia and Debbie and Brad and yourself, Doug, that have been playing live gigs for such a long time.
Yep.
And we want to continue that, but we're working on making it better so that what they're seeing is better, what they're hearing is better. And like I said before, you know, anyone can jump up in front of the screen with a guitar and sing a song. But I think once you bring it to that next level, then people won't mind paying $1 for, you know, a 45-minute stream of somebody that they know that person's going to acknowledge their viewers, and I think their viewers will feel a more personal connection.
Right. I think I totally agree with you there. And what about you, Licia?
Yeah, it's a conversation I've been having with a few different artists and industry people, but I really know what you're saying about the personal connection there, Shana. That's really cool. I haven't been able to get my head around actually going that way. You know, like Yoga with Adrienne, right? I don't know if any of you do Yoga with Adrienne, but her stuff is free on YouTube, but her thing is subscription based, and that's something like a guy that I occasionally work with a little bit. He keeps trying to push me that way. You know, the stuff you can resell it, and you can charge a subscription, and some artists are doing it. I think Lucky Dolly's doing it, and it's just something I haven't been able to sort of connect with for some reason, and maybe that's just maybe there's a missing hole in my business brain. But I think each to their own. If you feel like it's going to work for your group and your followers, then give it a whirl, I suppose. It's probably a really cool thing. For now, I'm just doing what I can.
And what about Deb and Brad? What's your thoughts on converting it, training your audience? Because you guys would see a lot of performances.
As far as Facebook goes, for starters, if you do charge, we actually specifically received an email from Facebook, from APRA, stating that if we can do what we're doing, it's all fine. but once we can't charge for it. If we start to charge, we'll have to pay fees.
Yeah.
So at the moment, Facebook are covering it for us. They're covering the app.
And we're just getting tips and donations.
So you've got to be careful. You've got to be careful on that. I mean, if you're making a few dollars, then who cares about paying for your app fees, right? Those original artists, they deserve it. They deserve their kickback. They wrote the song. We can't be there doing it without them, so they deserve to have their kickback. So that's just a comment. I think when we go back to performing live, we'll just go back to performing live. I can't see us continuing to stream online, but it is an opportunity for people in other parts of the state or other parts of the country to see your material that can't come and see you locally. So, I suppose there's a few differences.
There is something to add to that too. We've got on the Pub and No Fear, obviously all of our venue managers and owners of pubs where we play, they're all here as well. They're all watching, and they're having a ball watching the talent that's coming through here that they don't normally get to see. They're seeing live demos right before their eyes. Like it's working for them too. So maybe in the end they'll come out with a better idea of who they want to go with. Going to save them money if they're not wasting it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. So
control.
So I guess also, Rob, you're in a unique position with doing tribute shows. So it's not really original music, but you provide an awesome service of doing it. So what do you think about the whole converting the dollar thing?
I think there's two discussions sort of happening concurrently here, and that's the originals to covers.
Good point.
I think covers, at the moment, I'm trying to get a product to a place where people may be willing to pay for it.
Yep.
At the moment, I think it's pretty close, but then to not give them something for it doesn't sit well with me, at least until May, when JobKeeper payments come in, JobSeeker comes in, because all the people at home watching, well, I won't say all of them, but a lot of them are in a similar position as me. You woke up Tuesday morning, your work was gone, the income was gone. You might be a self-funded retiree, and you've got renters who have been providing you all your money, suddenly are trying to renegotiate that, and that's your bread and butter. So for me personally at the moment, asking a community that a lot of people are struggling just as much as we are, it doesn't sit well with me at the moment. There have been people saying, get a Patreon page or the PayPal thing and we'll throw you $20, or for me at the moment, that $20 is better in that person's pocket than mine. And I'm putting together some merchandise packs at the moment so that if people do want to give me some money for what I'm doing, then I'll send them something for that. I know that people will argue that, hey, you're already giving them something. You don't need to give them something more. But for me, it's retaining the audience that I've worked for 4 years to build. This is retaining that. This is retaining the venues and keeping my relationships up with them. So when we come out of this, that everybody's been working hard together to just maintain the status quo, if you want to use that term. So we can come out of this with more people, because there's only so many people who come to a pub and see us. There's a few venues that are just no-goes for a lot of our audience. So when we do a cruise, they're on the cruise. This might mean I can do 2 cruises in a day, and we'll make up the money, hopefully, on the back end. And venues will come back, fingers crossed, bigger and better than ever, and their budgets for shows like ours will be we may be able to ask for more money, and they'll be open to it because we're bringing another 50 or 100 people to every show because of what we've been doing and maintaining this,
And a more tailored list, that they can choose from, because they're looking at it all online at the moment. So,
But if I was an original artist, that's another story. So someone, Lisa could probably talk more to this than I can. I haven't done it in a long time. but you can, if you want to put a show on and you get it to a certain standard and you can do a paywall, there are things out there. There's some websites that are doing great stuff with that.
That's for you,
But
Rob.
then you're up against the Lady Gagas and all of them putting on free ones that you can just watch from YouTube. You know, we see Paul McCartney and
Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you say that. I've been talking to a couple of mates in the States over the last few days, and I've got some other cool stuff coming up. So please stay tuned, like and subscribe. Got to get used to saying that. But a lot of the artists that are doing the free stuff, and I'm not saying that Gaga is one of them, but they have to do the free stuff now because they're actually in the middle of recording something like right now, and they've got contracts signed, they've got stuff due out. Business is going to be back to usual when the touring circuit opens up because it's massive, hundreds of millions of dollars. And as we all know, like hardly anyone makes money out of just radio play or making just a record anymore. So the business is back to touring. So maybe if we go back to around the table, maybe Licia, being an original artist, if we just think outside the box, besides providing our service of music, what's a product you could provide to sell? Was it just a T-shirt, or are you still with us there? All right, we've lost her.
So she's gone.
Oh, timing.
All right. This looks. I usually have a joke, but I got to think of another
hear you.
joke. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
There we
there
go.
it is.
She's
Can you
back.
hear me?
Yes.
Internet
So,
back again.
Hello.
So thinking outside the box,
Ah.
like Rob was saying, if you being an original artist, what kind of product would you make to sell online besides music? A physical, like a T-shirt or a hat or something. What would you actually do?
Yeah. Look, the merch thing's interesting. I've got some badges and stickers, but I don't sell them online. And T-shirts is such an interesting thing because you need a gazillion different sizes. So I haven't quite stepped down that route. I suppose hats maybe, but maybe guitar lessons. Like I've been, I went to uni for 5 years. I learned something there, I think. Maybe I could teach some guitar. But yeah, open to ideas there because selling merchandise online.
can
Yeah, I
I
don't know.
make a
I can try this.
suggestion?
Sure.
Just because I've been looking into this, I think it's you can set up a free online web store with, I think it's Square Up, and then just have everything as a pre-sale item. So say for instance, people, you want to sell a T-shirt and just set a limit like T-shirts will be sent when minimum orders are received or something like that. So you need 10 or 20 depending on. And then once you've got the money, you can get the T-shirts made and then send them out, which is sort of what I'm doing. I'm going to do some T-shirts and hoodies. I've got some stubby coolers and stickers already here. I do merch packs. The hardest thing is that it's a minimum $8 postage to send something. So you're looking at maybe Sendle, you could do it for $6 or $7. But at the moment, to send a stubby cooler, $6 stubby cooler out with an $8 postage, you kind of need to put packs together. But if you can do the pre-sale thing and get the money first, and then say delivery by this date, I think that's a way that you could actually set up a merchandise store and without much capital outlay.
So you got to print a
Good
lot of
business.
shirts out. A lot of shirts. Can you just get 5 shirts made?
Well, you can in some
There's
of the
options.
smaller places. I've got a friend with a T-shirt company in Byron Bay, and he'll do 20,
He does
20
dropship it.
shirts or something. He'll do a short run, as long as it's a pretty simple design, Otherwise, there's some. I can shoot you some links later on if you like.
Yeah, sure.
I think Carl had a good point here. Just drop ship it. Yeah. Does everyone know what drop shipping is? Yep. Cool. And Alicia, you don't. Shanoa, do you want to tell her what drop shipping is?
What is that?
Drop shipping, because I run a shop, so drop shipping is we order from our supplier and our supplier sends it straight out to the client.
Oh, so you don't have to do anything.
No, you just
Oh, that
order it
sounds
from
great.
the supplier. The client pays you, and then you order it from the supplier, and then the supplier sends it straight out to the client.
I've actually I was actually looking into this before China shut down. getting some guitar pedals made. So maybe I'm letting the cat out of the bag, but getting some product made in China, shipped to America, and then people, order it on Amazon, and I do nothing. I just make the phone calls to make it happen. That's the drop ship. So I talk to the industrial people, and they send it to the distribution people. Yeah, and I just sit at home and be the retail people. That's about it. And what about Brad and Deb? Merchandise options?
Nah.
Does anyone else sell earplugs?
I'd sell earplugs.
Maybe your neighbour might need them.
Yeah, that's right.
We haven't got anything, not really. We've got a few
we-
t-shirts.
We do make t-shirts and coffee mugs and that sort of thing, the standard stuff. But as far as outside,
But we don't
that
push
goes,
it. We don't really, we don't really want to go around and go, here, wear my shirt. But
Right.
but we do know a girl in Kingscliff, and again, like Rob said, we can shoot some links later on, who is doing really cheap t-shirts, and she's flying them all. $6 a shirt, something like that, with the printing as well.
And they look good.
So, yeah,
They don't fall apart.
yeah, they're good at what they do. So, I mean, nothing fancy. It's just going to be the plain shirt with the name across the front, but
Another popular option that we've got too is we get quite a lot of questions on our drink holders, and
yeah.
we have actually sold some of our
I
drink
get it.
holders that are attached to your microphone stand.
Oh, right. That's a good idea. Yeah, right. Yeah, and I guess the other thing is finding something that actually has a demand, because if you spend money on something that doesn't have a demand, you're wasting your money. You have to, I guess, as Rob was saying, business plan.
These are demand for musos. Look at them. I mean, it's got a gap in the side here. It's got the claw, right? So, and it's got the wheel, so you can put it on your stand first, and then screw it up nice and bloody tight. Sorry, more again. And after it's got holes in it, so your condensation drains through, right?
All right. Okay. That's good.
Ready? And then at open mic nights, it doubles as an iPad and a phone holder.
So
Oh,
they
right.
go in that when we're packing up the A. They go in.
There you go. Well, you need to put a link in for one of those.
That's really good for when a drunk guy falls over and grabs your mic stand and the drink can go directly into your pedal board. It's perfect.
The only time I don't use it is at a band gig. He'll see it is, but not me, because that's exactly what happens. We have beer all over the windows.
And hey, we've just got something here from Carl. Sorry, he's cutting your head off, Rob. There's one way to get paid for live streaming. Must have 2,000 followers, 300 online watching. Oh, wow, you get paid. Does everyone see that?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. But I guess that all comes down to, I need one of those. So there you go, Brad and Deb. You've just got a sale. Hit up
There
Mr.
we
Warren.
go. Get in touch.
All right.
InsideMusicSolutions@gmail.com.
So maybe you
On
go.
that, I just got accepted into that program because I hit the what Carl said. I hit the limit and qualified. So now, I'm in that program.
Oh, right.
I'll
So
be
you got
able
to
to
have
report back and tell you
That'd be good.
how well it goes.
So with Rob, with that program, is that so you needed 2,000 followers on your musicians page, or?
Yeah. On the music
Wow.
page, and there needed to be a certain amount for in-stream ads. You need to have a certain amount of minutes watched per week. I didn't qualify for that, but the engagement levels, I hit the engagement levels and the video views that qualified for the partner program. I think that's what they call it. So it's got the profile now that advertisers can come in, see my demographic, which hey, my demographic's awesome. It's women between 55 and 64 is 60% of my demographic. Love it. They're the most
Well, they've got the
fun-
money. They got the money.
Yeah, they're the money. Yeah, all right.
Makes profit.
So, I'm
But
sure gonna. I don't know what the ads are going to be, though. Like, what are the ads going to be for? But probably wine. But,
Alicia's already got it.
yeah.
So
Go on.
that's a really good point. So I guess the message to everyone who is watching, if we can get 2,000 people to go around and like everyone's musician pages, we can start, crushing it. Like start.
Yeah.
We're
But
only about 400 out from hitting 2,000 anyway.
The person that made that suggestion before should put their name back up so that everyone can go and like him. Because if he gets 400 more, he's away.
Oh, hang on, let me find it.
There's Carl, yeah.
Oh, Martin. Hey, good name.
400
Carl.
shows. We go, Carl Wilson. If everyone goes,
So
and
I've
likes
got
Carl
another.
Wilson-
I've got another tip for people that want to add likes to their page. So I'm sure everybody knows this, but just in case, if you've got a music page and you're getting likes for posts, so if you get 20, 30, 300 likes, go to that post, click on the likes, and see every person that liked the page, and
And
make
add.
sure they like your page, so you can invite them to like your page, because people will see your posts through their friends, but not
Right.
see your
Necessarily
page.
like it.
So up it'll come. You'll see in your Facebook. Here's my head. You'll see the click on the like, and then it'll just be a list of people, like names, and next it'll
Yep.
say invite, 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 and you can invite everybody who liked your post who don't already like your page. So that's a way of getting likes too, especially
So-
if you're using ads on Facebook.
You're right. So I know we should probably go around. So I think my music page is only relatively new. I only had one viral video so far when an Englishman actually filmed me playing when I was playing in front of Tom Morello and Vernon Reid and John Five from Marilyn Manson and all those guys. And, you know, that video went viral, but I didn't, it didn't translate to all those likes coming onto my page. So my question is, maybe we go straight to Licia. Oh God, this is confusing. Yeah, about, you know, converting these people to what Rob was saying, because you've got quite a few thousand on your page, don't you? Building it up. How long has it taken you to build it?
I have about 3,600 likes. It's taken a long time to build that. You know, like I had Nita Strauss from Alice Cooper's band share one of my guitar videos. I had a 30-second thing, and she shared it on her Twitter, and to over 100,000 people.
Wow.
As for turning that into likes, I did notice a very small rise. And I think maybe I'd left some comments and stuff on the share, and, you know, tried to connect with other people that were connecting with her as well.
Yep.
It was a very slow climb with that. But yeah, other than that, asking people personally, like, you know, like I'll ask Shana soon, hey, if you ask all your friends to, this is a new one, if you ask all your friends to like my page, I'll ask all my friends to like your page, all 4,500 of them. I have 4,500 friends.
One for one. Yeah, right.
But no, all of them, all your friends, like, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, wow.
But apart from that, just constantly, just, you know, crossing
Yep.
over, which isn't enough.
So, you know, maybe this is a good thing, you know, that we're all sort of trying to swim through the murky waters and to find a clear way, because bringing it back to a business model, what we need to be very, very clear on is what is our service and or our product that we're actually selling. And then, like what Rob described before, he knows exactly his target audience. So if you know exactly your target audience, then you can cater for it, I guess. Yeah. Is that how you see it, Licia? Because I guess, you know, you have one genre of music that you're doing, or...
Yeah, I guess to some degree, my audience is similar to Rob's, but in the men's, for the men.
I wonder why.
You need Justin in your band.
Justin.
Our keyboard player. He's
Oh,
responsible for most of them, I think.
Oh, right, okay.
The sexy man.
Yeah, I've seen Justin. Yeah, right. Cool.
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
Yeah, I think some of our ads on Facebook that Tasha helps me with from Music Live for You will, you know, target it towards that age group of people who like, you know, that type of music, 70s rock and roll, like Woodstock kind of, that era, you know, older music that I was not around for, but I love.
All right. And Shanoa, what do you think about that?
I love my new name.
Oh, sorry, oh my.
Shanoa.
One job, please.
Shanoa.
Sorry.
Oh, that's cool.
One job. Must be these glasses. I can't
Good
see
job,
anything.
Di. We haven't actually met in person, but
No,
I'm sure
it's probably
we
a
will
good
one
thing.
day down the
Yeah,
track if they ever open up the border. Sorry, what was the question?
Oh,
Lost
about,
track.
so I guess, you actually run a business. So,
Yeah.
instead of just having Facebook lights and connecting with your audience that way, or maybe you do,
Yeah.
but, actually a good old fashioned customer service,
Yeah.
how
It's a
many
mixture.
clients right. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a mixture. I mean, like I said, most people know me for my business and not for my music business. So it's only at this point now where I can start investing some time into myself and the music that I play. And people are quite often surprised. They go, "Oh my God, where'd you get that voice from?" And I'm like, "Hang on, I've been playing live for 30 years, and I've supported some amazing national and international acts during the years." So, and it's always prompted me to continue to write and play original music. And that's where my scene is. And most people who sort of listen to me sort of are looking for that original music side of things. Having the shop and the different mediums of advertising, I did a 6-month small business management course, and that helped me to work out what type of advertising I needed to connect with my customers. So I use a whole bunch of different mediums, from the newspapers, the good old newspapers, to Facebook and social media, Instagram, Twitter, and all of those social medias. And then I've also got a MailChimp, which when people go to my website, they get prompted to sign up. So subscribe to our newsletter. And I don't send it out very often, but when I do, it's got some pretty relevant information. And so, I try and I also have some commercial ads that I make through another stream called Ripple, which I pay for on a yearly basis. And they're pretty, I can show all my instruments and everything that I'm selling at that moment.
So you're selling products. Yep.
Yeah, and it gets out to my audiences, and I just try and share. But I also, one of the things that I do the most is cross promotion.
Okay.
Because,
cool. Hence
I
why
believe,
you're here.
Yeah, and I believe in all these musicians here that are in this meeting right now, and I believe in a lot of other musicians, and I just think that, there's so much room for everybody, and somebody who might like your music might not like the next person's music, or vice versa, and you can't please everybody all the time, but you got to have a go. And if you don't have a go, then you may as well just sit there and do nothing. So I'm into pushing and shoving, and let's have a go, and let's cross promote these people and share their content and get their names out there as much as we do our own. A little bit of shameless advertising never hurt anybody.
Yeah, fair enough. And I probably to Deb and Brad about advertising here, I've got some questions here. I'll just post up for Deb and Brad. Random from USA, live streaming worldwide. If you have 5,000 people watching, you get paid like half a cent upon thousands, 2,000, maybe. I thought I saw one about Instagram. Facebook's not be all and end all.
No, it's not.
Fair enough. Does anyone do Instagram lives? That's from Carl. So, what's the best platform? What about you and Deb and Brad? You guys are actually hosting a show of sorts. So, what do you think?
We know that we should. We're mainly Facebook. I guess we have, as I saying, it's a little bit of an older audience. There's no secret that we're not young.
Yeah.
So the audience that we
22.
with is an older audience, which is obviously on Facebook. But there's a difference, just like to point out too, though, there's a difference on Facebook between likes and real likes. Like Debbie's an awesome networker at our gigs. She gets out and talks to almost everyone in the pub every time we go. And she's always collecting people on Facebook and adding them and getting them to like on Facebook. So she pushes for that at shows. But I remember one night, I was talking to a fellow by the name of Tim Harris, who was the manager of Tom Pub in Kingaroy. And he said to me, "Brad, check out these guys." they've got like I think it's something like 4,500 likes. And I watched it and I went, yeah, cool, man. But then Tim turned around to me and he said, now look at how many likes they've got on that post.
Charlie.
And there was about 5.
Thanks.
So seriously believe there was 4,500 people that there's only 5 that liked it? No, they buy the likes. So there's you can actually buy likes on Facebook. But
Yeah.
I personally, I think everyone should be out at their live gigs, pushing to get people to join their mailing lists and also connect with them on Facebook or Instagram. I know that was a question, sorry. But yeah, our target audience is more the Facebook. As far as
Yeah.
online goes.
I just haven't got the ball rolling yet with Instagram. I'm a bit slow. Like my whole world is wrapped up in
On Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah. So and I know that if I go to Instagram and I post it there, then it's automatically going to post back to Facebook. I am aware of that. I have got that happening. When I wake up in the morning or whenever I go on, I just happen to go to Facebook and not Instagram. So it's just about training myself to make the switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
I think,
connect with the younger audience, because there's nothing wrong with that. There's
Yeah.
plenty of younger kids out there want to get classic music.
Yeah.
I'm not classic rock, but classic rock, you know what I mean? Pub rock.
Before we go to Rob about Instagram, the little bit that I know about Facebook and Instagram is that the content is sorted by the people in Facebook, but on Instagram the content is sorted by niche. So, you know, if you're into flowers, you can have a page about flowers. So whatever, you know, the niches come to you. So because I love guitars, if I look in my screen, like it's all these guitars. But in Facebook, it's whoever I know who knows someone. I see the people, not the object. Does that make sense? Niche.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but Rob has got some points about Instagram, I hope.
I've been watching a few on Instagram. I watched, big Keith Urban fan here. I'll put my hand up. I'm not ashamed
Yeah,
to say it.
same, man. He's a great guitar player, man.
Yeah, fantastic. Look, Bon Jovi with banjos, but better.
Yeah.
But
Looks like me,
he's
Yeah, just like you. That's right.
he's been doing some Instagram lives, and I've been watching them, and it's great. So, you know, it's obviously a bar set way higher for the rest of us, but he sort of, that was the inspiration of me starting to do the live stream. Like I saw his and I went, oh, I can do that. Let's do that. So I haven't got on to doing it because I've just been concentrating on my fan base that I've spent 4 years establishing,
Wow.
rather than going into a new medium where there's not as many people. Because I'm just catering to those punters that come to our gigs with this at the moment. So it's something I'll look at, definitely. But at the moment, yeah, I'm not all that concerned with Instagram because my demo's not there.
Yeah, and it's funny how you just used that that language, my fan base. I think people need to start owning their fan base, you know. And to be honest, even with this whole TV show, it's all confusing for me. I'm still sorting out, do I post it through my Doug DeJong music platform or do I do it because, you know, I've got nearly 3,000 on one on my personal page or 5 on the other one. So, you know, it's a bit,
Yeah.
what do you do? But I do have a question here. Maybe this might be our second last question because we'll wrap this up at 1:30, 1 hour 30. Is how is everyone's mental health through doing this? Oh, here we go. There we go. From Alicia. Oh, you could have asked him in person. She had to text it to me.
Oh, how do I do this?
So, Rob Rhodes. Rob, you can go first.
It's been pretty good. I think most days I've had some like down moments, but I just go to sleep again and wake up and start again. And you can do that. I can do that now. But yeah, I'm a pretty positive person, and I was prepared for this before it happened. I think we spoke about that before, Doug.
Last week.
That
Yep.
2
Yep.
weeks. 2 weeks before anybody thought it was going to happen, I thought it was going to happen and prepared all the guys in my band for it. Took stock of our savings, etc., and just kind of went. I've been going hard, nearly 200 gigs a year for 4 years since I've been up here, 5 years, so now 4.5 years, and not taking any breaks. And I was doing 20 odd gigs a month with a virus since October. So this is a perfect. I just kind of got in the headspace of this is your break. Like this is your time to take a break and refresh and recharge. And that's sort of how I'm seeing it. I'm sure that will wear off. But the live streams have been that catharsis that I was talking about. So yeah, I've been good. Thank you, Alicia.
So we might. Yeah, straight back to Alicia.
Yeah. Oh, back to me, righto. Yeah, well, yeah, I'd say it's been a bit up and down, which is it's not really like me. I'm usually quite positive, and I don't really get into that depressed sort of state. But last week was probably one of my most down moments, and I was on your show last week, and I felt like hug mate. That's all I want. Just a big, nasty hug. But yeah, so I think I just had to hit rock bottom last week, and now I feel like I can start again. But like, yeah, yesterday I just took off. You know, I have a lot of chronic pain with my arms, and it's just really, I couldn't sleep, and so that doesn't help. And yeah, so yeah, it's been quite up and down. But you know, to have special people in your life that you can actually talk to and not feel guilty or selfish about it, because everyone's going through this. I felt like I shouldn't feel. Why do I feel like this? Like, I'm fine. I have a roof over my head, and you know, I don't have to drive anywhere. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, so it's been a challenge, but I feel like I got a fresh slate. I haven't had a holiday yet because I've just been going, but I sort of started to a little bit as well. Sorry, long answer there.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. That's real. And Shana?
Doug.
Yeah, someone. So why is everyone wearing sunnies? Oh, that's my fault. I just thought it'd be entertaining because like when people are scrolling through, they'll go, "That's the WTF factor, right?" So they'll probably there we go. Everyone pays attention
because everyone's stoned.
Phones off.
So hopefully I've answered that question. So why not? And I've got some other crazy themes coming up too. So you better watch again. So.
Can I do the double denim one?
Yeah. That's a good idea. That's a good. And so, Shana, mental health. How do you think you're coping with this in the live streams?
I think it's hoops. It's all about hoops. We go through hoops, don't we, Alicia?
We do. I wrote a song about it called Hoops.
Yes.
Good plug there, mate. Good plug.
I shared that song today, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so as far as I
had an injury that day. Go on.
As far as I'm concerned, I think that I've had that many tragedies, over the last 6 years that this is just another one. Like, come on, God, hit me with another one. What have you got? Here I am. Go for it, mate.
Talk about your flood. You got flooded. Yeah. Your shop got flooded and you lost like almost everything. Tell everybody about that.
And that was that put us out of action for about 4 months. And it was lucky we had a really good landlord, and he looked after us during that time for the rebuild. And no insurance, but we did get some help from the Sea Grant, and that was just one.
Well, are you still there?
It kept rolling over the years, and you get to the point where, do you really want to do this anymore? Like, how many times can somebody punch you in the guts? But, I'm a horse. I can't help but just climb back up on the horse and just keep trying, because otherwise, I would be a depressed person, and I'm not generally a depressed person, although my husband does see me like that sometimes. And usually when I get depressed, I'll just sort of cuddle up on the couch and nobody talk to me, you know, for a couple of days. Just leave me alone. But I don't go through that very often, thankfully. Yeah, and I miss my hugs. I miss my hugs so badly. Like, I'm even scared to hug my own husband at this point. You know, I'm like, hang on, are we allowed to kiss and hug? Or we should be a metre and a half away from each other? Come on, what's going on?
no.
But
New
look,
challenges.
my shop's
Yes.
open only limited hours at the moment, 10 till 2. This gives me a lot more time to spend doing my music, which I love, and I'm just keeping a smile on the dial, you know. And I think that's what we've got to do. We've just got to
Let's
keep
go.
rising above it. Yeah,
Yep.
high five.
And
Yeah.
Brad and Deb, mental health is a very, very good question. How do you think you're dealing with this in this time?
Yeah, I think we talked about this a little bit last time too. But yeah, when it all first went down, knocked me for 6 for a couple of days. But as everyone's been saying, you go through stages, and
Yep.
I felt myself coming out of it, and that's an awesome feeling too, to come out the other side and go, hey, hang on, I'm going to be okay. This is going to be all right. And the government's propping us up, which obviously helps. A monetary thing is always a good thing for your healthy state of mind. It's good to know that you're
I don't have that
okay
yet.
with money, but also that you're
Money.
going to be okay. One of my big things was the fear of not performing for 6 months. I thought, wow, you know, that really upset me. So
Have a pill for that,
apart from the
mate.
fear and getting up and doing it online,
Haven't done anything else for over 20 years.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know,
so yeah, no, doing great at
Rob.
the moment. And we're very occupied with that.
I was really good right up until the day that he melted down over using the gigs. And then it hit me about the virus. And I thought, what if it is really bad and it is really real and oh shit? So I sort of hit it then. But now with all of this group that we've got happening and watching everybody playing music all day long, my state of mind is through the roof, babe. Like, I am so happy. I'm tired, but I'm so happy. It's the best thing that I ever did, I reckon. And I'm so happy to see all you guys playing, and it's really cool. So I think we're going to be all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've always discussed anyway. We'd be happy just living in a humpy together with nothing if we had to.
That's true.
Yeah, well, I think that
You probably will want that.
Guitar and that's it.
I'll just get back to that point in a second. But yeah, I think that in time of crises, they call it the villager mentality. So, you know, if you think of a village back in the day, they were self-sufficient, you know. There was no whinging and complaining. People would build fences, dig holes, get the water out of the well, just make it happen. They just band together and everyone
Some of the
would
happiest nations in the
focus
world
on-
are just like that. Yeah.
And I think I saw a very, very good point about Russell Brand actually brought this up. I watched one of his videos. And anyway, this is what we're doing, right? This is a little village. We're sharing our knowledge, trying to get through it. And there was one point I wrote down here. I've got someone timing in. What are they saying? Oh, it's from Alicia. Okay. Oh, here we go. He's trying to. You can talk to me, Alicia. You can talk to me.
You need cue cards. Like,
So yeah, I just wanted to bring up the last question. Is that musicians, very, very cool people, I must say, but this is an addiction, you know. So I know if I don't play guitar for a while, maybe even a couple of days, and sometimes I try to actually have a break on purpose, and then when I pick it up, I come up with new gear. But I just want to talk about this concept of, we just go around the table one more time. Addiction, right? Because I love playing in front of people. I'm sure you can tell because I can't help but move. But I'm still going through withdrawals, you know? So this is why I crank up my PA, and that's why we had this concept about maybe we're going to have noise problems, you know, playing loud gigs in residential. But that one word, addiction, not meaning in a negative sense, but just vibing off the people. Like, if you have never done it before, or if you have a fear of it, you probably won't get to enjoy it. But I just want to ask, maybe we start with Rob. I know, actually, we'll finish with Rob. Sorry, Rob, because you always say something cool. So we'll go to, we'll go straight to Shana. Rob's going to go last. So this is the last question.
Throw me on the track.
hold on.
Yeah, so
What's
Shana,
the question? What was the question?
So being a musician is an addiction. So
Yeah.
how do you think this is going to change your addiction going through this crisis? For better or
I
for
think-
worse?
Yeah, probably for better eventually. But I really, I miss jamming with people, like, around the table. And I really hope that we can come up with something where we can all have a guitar in our hand or be able to sing together on the internet until this is over anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and otherwise the addiction is cranking up the PA, because at least that way you feel like you're doing something live.
Yeah.
And it's different to just grabbing your guitar. Anyone can, I can grab my guitar and play on the lounge and, fiddle about, but yeah.
Yeah.
And no
Okay.
pressure, Rob.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, thank you for that. And
that's okay.
Deb and Brad, how are you guys going with dealing with the addiction of performing?
By the way, I was going to chuck in. Isn't that a great name for a band? My Addiction. It's a great name for a band. Anyway,
Where's the cut?
the whole reason is, music is our addiction, and so that's how come that name come up. And it is a positive name for us. We're doing all right. You want to take over there?
If there's any musos out there listening, and obviously there is, jump on our group, play a gig on the pub with no fear, because honestly, after we do one set of an hour, we're on a high for an hour or two.
Yeah.
You still do get that fun.
You do get that.
And then to look back through it and interact and see all the comments
Yeah.
and connect with all those people, it's a buzz.
Yeah.
So we're still feeding our addiction.
Yeah.
So anyone out there that's hungry, just get in touch with us. Email us at Inside Music Solutions.
I think that's a good point.
Or get in touch on the group.
That's all.
That's a good point there, Brad, about instead of getting down about it, just do it. Action. They say motion breeds emotion. So if you're active, you will feel better. You'll change your emotion you'll change your emotion by having motion. I like that. I like that. Alicia,
Really true. Really true.
and over to Alicia.
Now you're talking about live performing and addiction. So, but that's the same topic.
Right. So you want me to rephrase it? So as performers, we have an addiction to playing live. And so this is sort of related to the mental health one. So how do you,
deal with
you
that.
know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Being performing, I do quite regularly as well. And I was just away for 2 months, but 6 weeks of that was touring, driving down the East Coast and playing in different locations, hanging out with different people. And I really crave meeting new people and hanging out with my friends. I have so many loved friends in different locations around parts of Australia and around the world. So I also miss that interaction. However, I am enjoying having my little PA set up at home, so I can just play at any time I want. I've just got to leave it set up. So if anything, I'm really quite enjoying just leaving it setting up and just jamming with myself whenever I feel like it, just for fun. Even though it is fun, but just for a little bit more fun.
Yeah, that's a good point. So the art of practice now is enjoying, not practicing because it's a chore for the gig. Yeah.
Yeah, sort
Okay.
of both. Yeah.
Okay. And Super Rob, wherever he is, this is really confusing. There we go.
Oh, wait! It's been an hour and a half. Hold on, I have to play an E major. I don't know what to do. Hold on. Okay, cool. I'm all right now. Feel good. I'm ready. Just got to set the tone. I just had to set the tone.
Very good. Very clever. Very clever.
I've been performing live since I was maybe 16. So what's that? 10, 15 years now.
Probably 4, mate.
Why does everybody laugh every time I say that? I don't get it. They say music keeps you young, but sunglasses keep you younger. But in that time, I've had a lot of breaks from it. So I think I went 12 years full-time in Sydney playing, and then went back to being a venue manager.
Yeah.
Running pubs, so on the other side. And that was a good break after being burnt out. And then when I came back to it almost 5 years ago now, now every moment I get, I appreciate it for what it is. But I also appreciate and love the downtime. Not playing. I don't know if anybody has spent a lot of time in pubs or as much as I have, but there's a thing that we call, I call it like pool burnout. So if you're playing pool every night of the week over beers and whatever else, when you first start playing, you hit every bank shot, you hit all your angles. Within 3 months, somehow you got worse. And if you take a couple of months off and come back fresh and your eyes are fresh again, all of a sudden you're a genius on a pool table again. And music can be like that too. The break is as important as the practice is. Because you start to see things with fresh eyes. Your finger memory is it's still there, but somehow some other connections are made and you play something a little bit differently and you discover with knowledge that's just been there kind of, percolating. It's subconscious. You find some other ways to make those connections. And so, for me personally, I don't have any addictions. I love playing and that adrenaline is probably sorely missed from playing at the moment, but I am feeding that with the live streams because it gets to about 45 degrees in this little room, so it feels like a gig.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
But for people, I know there's people out there just absolutely champing at the bit, wanting to get back out there. To those people, keep that motivation, but please take this time to just rest a little bit. Do something for you, because that's as important as doing things for others and getting out there and playing, So, just see it as a blessing of sorts, and just take this time, because this could be 6 months. Hey, it could be 3 months, could be 12 months. We don't know. So I think I wrote something on my Facebook page the other day about don't come out of this with regrets. But whatever you've got, whatever little projects you want to do,
get it
personal, musical, business, whatever, do it, because, hey, there's some people out there doing it really tough and they're going to have to work twice as hard when they come out of this. So if you're going to be one of those people, go out and do the things that make you happy now so that you can look back and you'll be recharged, ready to take on whatever monumental tasks are ahead of us.
Yeah, well said, man. That's good. See, told you I should have saved you to last. It's good. It's good. But I just want to say thank you to all of you, and this has been amazing. How we got some comments here. If Centrelink comes through, this will be the first ever paid holiday. All right, as a musician. That's it. But
has everybody registered, and is everybody getting payments yet, or what?
I'm not registered. No, I haven't. No.
Yes, I registered.
Yeah.
Sorry?
We've got information.
I'm receiving job seeker payments, but the legislation's gone through for the job keeper now. I think it was from the 30th of March you could apply, but they're not going to come through until sometime in May. So the job keeper payments won't be through until May.
Yeah.
But they're coming.
The only money I've earned are tips from live streams in the last month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got a payment today.
You had your first payment?
I got my first Centrelink payment last week, but
woohoo.
And
hey Dom,
I just got the notification for JobKeeper today, which I registered for last week. But I got a band payment today.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
I had 2 outstanding ones, and I've only got 1 left. So I'm cheering.
Awesome.
Sweet as.
Yeah, I don't know if I qualify for any of that, so I have to, details. I have to look it up. But I just want to say, please stay on the line, all the panel, and this has been really informative. So thank you to everyone that's watching. Please like and subscribe.
Can I just chuck in that pub with no fear? Someone asked me for a link before, but I can't figure out how to type it. So Facebook.com/the pub with no fear. Easy.
Hang on, let me The Pub with No Fear is your group.
Okay.
It's a group.
Let's play it.
There you go. There you go. I've just put it up there.
Thanks.
I've just put it on YouTube, so you're gonna have to put it in there anyway.
Yeah, no, it's gotta be
Yeah.
Facebook.com anyway.
You probably get.
Awesome.
All right.
So
Drinks are on Rob because he's got money. Excellent. All right. Well, I'm going to say this for the third time. Thanks again. Thanks for wearing sunnies and entertaining my sense of humour. So thanks very much. So
Thanks for
stay on.
having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Stay
guys,
on the line.
Thank you.
everybody.
Yes. Stay on the line, everybody, and I'll see you all again next time. And there's Lucky last. And please like and subscribe wherever the thing is. Like and subscribe. It's all down there. Thanks for watching. Make some noise.